I sat down with a client just last week, and she looked at me with frustration in her eyes. She said, "Larry, why didn't my home sell this weekend? We had showings, great photos, a strong listing. What went wrong?" Hey, if your home didn't sell last weekend, take a breath. You're not alone. You're not failing. You're just in a different housing market than the one you thought you were in. Across the country, homes that used to sell in a matter of days are now sitting on the market for weeks, or in some cases, months. Showings are down, buyer feedback, it's vague at best, and price cuts, they're back in a big way. In fact, nearly 39% of all active listings in the US have seen price reductions. So what's changed? Almost everything. Hey everybody, I'm Larry Fleischman, your Southern California real estate broker, and I specialize in helping people buy and sell homes here in Southern California. And if you happen to be looking somewhere outside my area, I have people that I know and in many cases worked or trained with across the country. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why this housing market feels different, what's driving buyer hesitation, and most importantly, how to price, prepare, and position your home to sell today, not in the past. You have to ask yourself, are you selling in today's market or last year's? The reality is both buyers and sellers have short-term memories, and you're seeing a return to a more normal market. Many of you who are out there buying homes in today's market have never bought a home before, so you don't know what a more normal housing market looks or feels like. You're going based off of what your friends have told you, what your parents have told you, and what you've seen over the last couple of years. But there's a shift that every seller out there has to understand. Showings are down, feedback is vague, and price reductions, they're not just back, they're everywhere. Nearly 39% of active listings have cut their price. And in my area here in Santa Clarita, 43% of active listings have cut their price. Now, while we're not in a full-fledged buyer market, we're seeing an adjustment to a more normal market. And that's something we haven't seen in quite some time. So again, what's changed? And again, I say everything. Let's rewind. In 2022, interest rates were sitting around 3%. And that way, all of you buyers had access to historically cheap money. It triggered a frenzy, panic buying, bidding wars, wave contingencies. But here in 2025, mortgage rates are hovering between 6.5% and 7%. Affordability is pretty much tanked. And when buyers can't afford the monthly payment, they're waiting or they don't buy. And this, my friends, is the new normal. So yes, demand is still there, but urgency, it's gone. And that single shift is changing everything. I had a seller in Saugus recently who bought their home for $820,000 back in 2022. They just listed it, well, they recently listed it for $790,000, and it still didn't move. That's a $30,000 loss on paper, and they were shocked. But here's the deal. Some markets have softened. Others have actually gone up. But that's why understanding your hyper-local market is key. It's critical when it comes to real estate to understand that real estate is local. You can't get caught up in the national headlines. You can't worry about what's happening in a completely different state because real estate can vary within the same city or even within the same neighborhood. And as a seller, it's very, very important to understand your hyper-local market. I'm located here in Santa Clarita, California, and within my city, we have over 8 different zip codes. And what I can tell you is within those zip codes, there are variances in how properties are selling. You have to remember, headlines don't sell houses. Data is what sells properties. Solid local data. Your home should be priced based on what's happening in your local market. Look, buyers today are watching HGTV where homes are picture perfect. They're like model homes. They show extremely well on TV, and the expectation for all of you buyers, especially where prices are right now, is that you're going to be getting what you see on TV. And because of those expectations, if that's not how your home looks online, people are scrolling past your listing in seconds. They expect homes to be updated, staged, move-in ready, even if they're not paying a luxury price. And if it's not, they keep scrolling. Look, buyers aren't in a rush anymore. Back during the pandemic, I had worked with clients, we'd written 20 offers and they wanted to buy the first house they saw. And today, people will see 20 homes and write 0 offers. If your home isn't selling, it's easy to blame the agent, but your home has to stand out. So not only should your real estate agent be using professional photos and video to market your home, they should use 3D tours. They need to be giving the buyer everything that they want to see your property in a couple different ways. And it isn't those nice flyers that they put on your counter. Those are really nice, but we need to get people into your house before they even see those flyers. And sellers, you need to clean your house. I feel like I'm beating the proverbial dead horse, but you need to declutter. And if the paint's chipped or old, you're well advised to repaint too. Staging is a huge help. But let me tell you, my advice here is before you go and do all of this work and spend a bunch of money, be sure you're talking to a professional real estate agent, an agent in your market who understands your local market. But let's be honest, most agents today are using professional photos, social media, and listing websites. The issue right now, it usually isn't exposure, it's expectation. Maybe the price is too high, maybe your home needs a little love, maybe both. As I've said in the past, pricing a home for sale isn't just a science, it's a combination of art and science. The data matters, but so does knowledge of your local market. What's happening in the shopping centers, the schools, at the local trash dump? It all matters. Let me tell you, there's really 3 key strategies to pricing your home. The first one is to, overprice it. And a lot of you sellers out there think that this leaves room for negotiation. But in reality, what it often does is it scares off the buyers. The second strategy is to price it at the market based on comps in your neighborhood. Again, hyper local. This is your sweet spot. And the third strategy is to price just below market. Now, this strategy is used to create a bidding war. Some of you sellers out there are afraid of not getting multiple offers or the right offer. And what I'll say here is talk to your agent. Look, I know there are agents out there who are just looking for a listing. They'll take your listing at any price and then they'll ask you to reduce, 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 just so they can get it sold. And that's not how it should get done. Your agent should be giving you a price up front. They should back up their recommendations by showing you comparables. And they've got to be recent because as things move in this market, anything more than 75 to 90 days old, just old news. And then once you've listed with them, they've got to give you guidance through the process. They need to tell you exactly what's happening locally, what's happening with showings, and well, honestly, just help you come to the right decision. And you know what? Right now, maybe that decision is to rent the house or not to sell the house at this time. But the worst thing, and something you don't want to have happen, is chasing the market after sitting for weeks. Price drops scream desperation, and buyers will question what's wrong with the house. Presentation is everything. Today's buyer is visual. As I said, that means professional photos, video tours, 3D walkthroughs, and yes, staging, even decluttering and painting. But remember, even a great presentation won't save a bad price. You've got to get both right. Now, if you're selling your house and you're saying, take it as is or leave it, buyers are going to leave it. Today's deals are often including concessions, closing date flexibility, and yes, repairs. Now, it's not about giving up everything, but it's about meeting the buyer in the middle. Because you got to remember, a deal is a two-way street. Now, I'm sharing this because you need someone who's going to tell you the truth, not just what you want to hear. Someone who gives you feedback, market insight, and helps you adjust before your home becomes stale on the MLS. This is not a broken market. It's a more normal market. It takes strategy, flexibility, and patience. Sellers who adapt will win, and those who don't, They're going to wait and wonder why they didn't sell. Hey, thanks for watching, and if this helped reset your mindset or gave you a few action items, do me a favor, hit that like button, and if you want to stay ahead of the market with me every week, please go ahead and subscribe and comment below. I'd really appreciate hearing what your biggest challenge is that you're facing in this housing market. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching. I'm Larry Fleischman, and my team and I are here to help you navigate the world of real estate, whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned investor. We'd love to help you. Just drop us a message, send us a text, email, or call us. We're here to help. And remember, for all things real estate, sell or buy, Larry's your guy.